Sharon joining us from Rohtak, Arun Dhanta is joining us from Kurukshetra, Yash Koel is right outside Kumari Selja's residence. Sharon, Arun and Yash, good morning. Sharon, whereabouts are you and what's the conversation on ground this result day live morning in Haryana?
Well, Anand, I'm outside Bhupinder Singh Hooda's residence, and you can see slowly the supporters are in fact coming in. Right now, there are no much activity. People are in fact coming in and joining at the Hooda's residence here in Rohtak. But pretty much confident. They have in fact been saying that the exit poll have been in their favor. Apart from that, the internal survey has also in fact predicted around 55 to 60 seats for Congress in Haryana. And apart from that, last night there has in fact been a meeting where all the leaders, all the candidates have been told that they should not be overconfident. They need to guard the strong rooms. All supporters need to guard the strong rooms. Apart from that, whenever the numbers are coming, whichever, doesn't matter how many rounds are there, they need to be there for all the rounds, and until and unless the counting is not completed in each of the constituencies, the candidates will not move from there and they will have to take their certificates once the counting is done. So this is what the message that has been sent by the AICC General Secretary to all the candidates of Haryana. The observers, Ajay Makhan, Ashok Gehlot, have also been asked that they need to be very alert, need to track all the developments that are happening in Haryana. So right now, you can see the supporters who have in fact gathered here. Let me speak. Exit poll आप लोगों के पक्ष में है, क्या लगता है, क्या माहौल है?
हाँ, हमारे पक्ष में है, 70 सीट आएंगी मैडम, 70 प्लस।
आपको क्या लगता है?
ये तो पब्लिक को पता है, आप लोगों को पता है 10 साल में क्या किया है। बेरोजगारी, भ्रष्टाचार और जो है ये आंदोलन, किसान आंदोलन, ये मुद्दे हैं। हर वर्ग परेशान है।
मतलब जीत रही है कांग्रेस, आप ये कहना चाहते हैं?
निश्चित तौर पे 70 प्लस कांग्रेस आएगी और चौधरी भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा जी इस प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे।
भूपेंद्र जी मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे।
So the sense and the
बनेंगे, जनता की डिमांड पे बनेंगे।
जनता की डिमांड पे बनेंगे। Sense in the Hooda camp, Sharon. Yeah, so what they are saying is that if they are winning, if the Congress is taking, and if it's a two-horse race, Rahul Shivshankar, if it's a two-horse race, Congress and the BJP, then the Congress will sweep it. It'll go 70 plus. There's no reason why it should stop at 55 or 60.
Absolutely. Look, this is basically what many analysts have been saying, that if this is a two-horse race, expect exactly what happened in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, just transpose that result onto an assembly map and you'll get the picture. But interestingly, even then, and you can argue that the Prime Minister was on the ticket and so on and so forth, but even then the Congress was actually too short of even the BJP. Now, what needs to happen, it's not as simple as that. What needs to happen is that the Dalit vote that came to the Congress and the OBC vote, the other OBCs apart from the Jats, will they remain with the Congress as they perhaps did, at least to great proportion, in this 2024 Lok Sabha election? Will that actually happen? And that's really where we have to be looking very closely at the magic wall, Zach, because
will the
Dalits, will the OBCs stay? That's the fundamental question.
And we'll take it back to Arun Dhanta and Yash on ground.
The reason, and I keep going back to this, the reason why the BJP was able to, through the skin of its teeth, by the skin of its teeth, win Haryana or wrest Haryana in 2019 was because the Jat vote split almost evenly between the JJP and the Congress. But while the focus is so much on the Jat vote, if you look at what happened in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, it was split 5 seats to Congress and 5 seats to BJP. But how did the community vote split? So I'm going to put out the filter, which is the BJP leads as far as 2024 is concerned. First, let's take a look at the Jats. So the BJP's bulk of the BJP's support are in these two corridors. This is called the GT corridor, which is Panipat, Sonipat, Karnal, going all the way up to Ambala and then further into Punjab. And then there is the southern sort of stronghold, which is Gurgaon, Faridabad, largely the urban part of the state bordering the national capital region. So these are the two pockets of support that the BJP has. Essentially, these are their firewalls, the saffron wall as they call it. Here, the BJP, if you were to transpose the Lok Sabha results, 5 Lok Sabha seats into assembly constituencies, the BJP would end up with 44, 28 of which were seats that they had won even in 2019. So the worst case scenario possibly, the bottom line for the BJP is 28. The Congress, the starting line is 12. Now, if you were to impose the Congress's leads in 2024 Lok Sabha onto the Vidhan Sabha, you can see the regions are different. This is, of course, the Rohtak belt, which is the stronghold of the Hoodas. There's also a huge bunch of seats that have come from the Sirsa belt, which is where Kumari Selja hails from. There is, of course, the Dalit vote there as well. There's the Dera vote in this whole Sirsa belt, which is also very crucial. So if you look at the map for the Congress, it's very different. You don't see much here in this GT corridor. You don't see much here in the Gurgaon, Faridabad urban belt of southern Haryana. Much of their wins are in this Jind, Hisar, Sirsa, the Rohtak belt. Here, the Congress would have got 42. So the starting point for the Congress is 20 seats. These 20 seats are virtually almost assured for the Congress party, just like 28 were virtually assured for the BJP. The question is, where do the others go? Even in the Lok Sabha, even in Lok Sabha 2024, in these seats, the JJP had 20% vote, which means 1 out of 5 voters were voting for the JJP. Will they do that in the assembly?
See, and if you see, there is a clear about 2% vote percentage difference between the Congress and the BJP, but there is a 9-seat plus for the Congress. So their seat conversion, despite a lower vote share, is higher in this belt.
Correct.
And did the JJP cause that damage to the BJP? We don't know.
Possibly. But, I mean, they did fight
in alliance.
Yeah, in an alliance in the Lok Sabha. But then everybody in Haryana knew that things were not good between the two parties.
What has changed? There are 2 or 3 things that have changed. There's the Vinesh Phogat women wrestler factor that's come in. There's also, of course, been a protracted disillusionment amongst Jats and farmers. And then, of course, there is the shadow of the Agniveer. Yeah. So all of those things have sort of come into the picture that perhaps weren't quite there in 2019.
Yeah,
and that's also led to the JJP sort of snapping
It's as
ties.
Mr. Huda said,
Yes.
Kisan, Jawan, Pehlwan,
Absolutely.
all three.
So
seem
there
to be
are
upset.
these 3
Let's